Andy Morgan here, ICAST 2018, Orlando, Florida, here in the favorite booth. I'm going to run you through some rods here that what I actually use in some of my favorites. Pretty good story right here on this Big Sexy series. I got the rods, Winston sent me the rods like on a Monday. We were going to Lanier to fish an FLW tournament, so I wanted to run out and get a little feel for it. So I picked up this, which is a 7.6 Big Sexy. Noticed the rod was good and light, it had a good action to it, so I wanted to go catch a couple on a jig. This is the honest story. Actually, I put this all over Facebook too. The first bite I got on the Big Sexy, the very first bite, took me about 45 minutes to get a bite or so. I catch a 13-pounder. The very first bass I catch on the Big Sexy favorite was a 13-pounder, which was an extremely cool deal. But the rod, you know, done a good job to catch a fish that size, and it handled the fish well. It's got great sensitivity. I was super impressed. Now we're going to roll into the Emperor series. I just got these actually here just, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks ago or so. I've used them a little bit, and I caught a few fish flipping grass on Lake Chickamauga where I caught the 13-pounder with one of the, I think it's the 7.4 that I used to flip the grass with on the Emperor series. It's got a good stiff action, the one that I like with a big heavy weight. Done a great job. Again, super sensitive. The reel seats are second to none. There's no more having to get pliers to get your reel on and off the rod. You can lock it down with that reel seat. All right, we're going to roll right in here to the Rush. I've used these rods a little bit. I had these earlier in March. There's one particular one here. It's a medium heavy. I believe it was a 7.4 also. I caught a bunch of fish on a rattle trap with that. It handled the fish really well on a trap. Again, super impressed with everything. It's got high quality reel seats. It's got a great price point. It's around a couple $100. Then I'm gonna roll right in here, and these I haven't used very much, only one time. I got one of these early on in the year, and it is the Summit series. And the Summit was the lightest, and it was kind of it was the top end of what we had when I first started here with Favorite here just a few months ago. Great feeling rod. It's super high end. It's got a really high quality reel seat on it, and again, it was super light, super sensitive, and it was one of my favorites. But now I'm thinking possibly it's going to be this Supremacy. This is our top end. It's our most expensive rod. It's got high-end qualities as far as when you go into the reel seat and how you sock the reel down. I mean, that's a super expensive reel seat. This is a pretty expensive rod. It's got titanium guides on it. They've got an 8.2 right here, which while I was fooling around, I just saw this a few minutes ago. This 8.2 right here, it's actually got a hexagonal blank. And it is 38% stronger than just your standard round blank. And this rod being 8.2 with this shape, how it's made with the titanium guides, a super light seat, super strong reel seat on it. This rod weighs at 8 foot 2 inches, weighs 6.1 ounces. To me, that's flipping grass or what have you, you're flipping a heavy weight. There's one thing that you want to reduce the fatigue on my poor old elbows and hands anymore. You reduce the weight of the rod. If you can get a rod that's stout enough and has the power, which is 38% stronger, so I can get all the way down to 6.1 ounces, and it's still stout enough to flip an 1.5 ounces or even a 2 ounce weight all day long to cut that fatigue by having a lighter weight rod, this one right here is going to be the answer to a lot of my poor old fishing days where my elbow is killing me. So the Supremacy, the higher end rod that we have this year, and just Favorite fishing, man. We got it pretty much any kind of rod you want at any price point. We've got it here, and it's all high quality stuff, and it's something we're very proud of. And that's it. That's ICAST 2018 Andy Morgan Favorite Rods.